Welcome to season 2 of the Fit to Love podcast show. Welcome to Fit to Love, Movement Mondays, all about exercise, all about movement, all about you. Enjoy the show. Did you know that there are 7 factors that contribute to weight loss resistance and having success with weight loss? Want to find out if one of those factors is sabotaging you? Come on over to fittolove.tv/quiz and find out. Today's show, the best kind of lunge. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, I have said it, there is a best kind of lunge. I do not use that word very often, best, but I reserve it for things that I'm very, very specific about wanting you to understand about the risks involved with exercise. So I did a show at the very beginning of this show called the 3 worst exercises for your joints, and one of them was walking lunges. And I went over in detail your knee joint, okay? And there are 2 forces on your knees in lunging: compression and translation. Compression, we all understand in gravity, compression, and then there's translation, which is the sliding motion. They all happen anyway, but when you're doing a walking lunge, you put a lot of compression and pressure and force on the translation part, and if you can imagine, the more pressure you do in scraping your cartilage, your discs, the faster they're going to wear down. So the risk involved with lunges are your knees. And those of you that have knee problems know you can't do lunges, right? Because of the risk on your knees. So I see so many people doing ridiculous lunging things, and I'm sorry, again, I don't mean to offend you if you're the one doing these kinds of lunges, but I have to ask you why you're doing it. Why I recommend lunges is so that you can build your quadricep muscle, and you can use your body weight plus extra weights when you need it to help build your quadriceps. If you're doing lunges for balance reasons, okay, you can do that. If you're doing walking lunges for balance reasons, just say, is there any other way I can get balance in without wrecking my knees? That's my only 2 cents on that. So the best kind of lunge is going to be a stationary lunge, because your knee joint is a hinge joint. It's a hinge. It goes 2 ways, this way and this way. And your elbow is also a hinge joint. And so you have connective tissue and you have ligaments that hold that in place. And anytime you challenge your stability by adding in rotation or extra moves you don't need, then you're putting your knee at risk. And so to me, that's ridiculous. Why would you want to do that? So the best lunge, as far as I'm concerned, is stationary for 2 reasons. 1, risk on your joints, and efficiency. Efficiency. If I was to take a weight and do a bicep curl and do really one heavy weight and then put it down, or stretch my bicep and then do it again, you'd say, well, why are you resting in between? And anytime you do something that gives your quadriceps more rest, you're just taking longer to build the muscle, to fatigue it. So it's not even efficient to do a walking lunge or to do these bouncing kind of lunges that people are doing. So what I'm seeing people do are things like this, and they bring the feet together, and it's like very aerobic. Okay, do you think you're going to put your foot down in the same position each time? You don't have control over the knee placement, so you're putting your knees at risk every time you go back and forth. And then if you go forward, right, we talked about translation, all my force, the physics of that, is putting more stress on my cartilage, and it's going to wear your knee down faster. So as far as I'm concerned, the best exercise is a stationary lunge. So again, form for that is feet hip-width apart. You're going to slide 1 foot back. You're going to make sure you maintain the width between your feet. If you put 1 foot behind the other and you're on a tightrope, it's going to be very challenging to balance and not so good for your hips or your knees. All right, so keep the width between your 2 feet. You're going to bend the front knee forward and stop. You're going to come up on your back toe and you're going to go down with the back knee. Let me show you from the side. So a lunge is not a forward and back motion, it's an up and down motion, okay? I'm looking for, again, right angles. Right angle here, body weight over the back leg and not bent forward, okay? So I'm going up and down. This is the best form for a lunge, okay? And you can hold weights if you want to. It's gonna be great for balance. It's gonna be great for building your quadricep. It's gonna be great for stretching your hip flexor. Some things that may hinder this for you is if you have tight calves, or depending on your limb length, you may have really long femur and a shorter tibia. So in those cases, things need to be adjusted. But generally speaking, a stationary lunge is the best kind of lunge.